विषय बात कुछ करे बात आज ये खबर क्या हो रहा है Assalamu alaikum, good morning all. So today we have a special session by Professor Dr. Mushtaq Chalkoo sir. He'll be talking about innovations and practices in medical science. So of this. Can somebody give a brief, at least he has done his post-graduation from SKIMS, Srinagar, and Association of Minimal Access Surgeons of India and fellow of the Indian Hernia Society, among others. He teaches both PG and UG students of medicine, and he has been, doing this review for various international journals of medicine. He has been wearing a lot of caps, and each cap is having a different kind of a feather in it. For instance, he won this state award for introducing Chalkoo technique to surgical world, and is associated with 5 more medical associations in India, and has reviewed 34 papers and published 69 scientific publications, and attended about 114 conferences and presented about 32 papers, both at the national and international level. He is editorial board member of more than 12 international surgical journals of repute. He is enrolled in the World Who is Who 2015 15th edition. He has been awarded with Research Excellence Award for 2021 for his research in the field of surgery, and awarded a national patent for his Chalkoo refractor in Minilab. Sir, you need to explain for this. Cystoscopy, quite a medical term, by the Patent Office of the Government of India on 6th of October 2021. He's a guide, and he's been guiding 7 postgraduate research scholars working with research in laparoscopic incisional hernial laparoscopy, DT gastronomy, and laparoscopic cholesterol surgeries. He has been he has other 2 books, both in English and also in Kashmir, I guess, hopefully. Yes, sir. 2 months, indeed.
It took him like a student of practice, a student of surgery. I come from medical science.
Thank you very much. And sir, before that, I would like
too much of your description about me. I am a student here, so I've come to learn and share something.
So before you speak, I would like to request Professor Isaac to give his welcome address, please.
Thank you, Dr. Nagaraju. Thank you, Dr. Nagaraju, for the wonderful and short and brief introduction of our valued guest today. I must thank Professor Chalkoo for agreeing to come here. Despite his busy schedule, you can understand for a doctor to stay away from his duty in a way. It's very difficult also because lots of patients are there, and then he has also administrative engagements in his college, but nonetheless he could not say no to me. Now the question is, you heard about him, who he is. His bio has been read. What made me to request him to come here is a reason that I want to tell you. You are all science scholars, and this filmmaking workshop for science scholars. And I found in Dr. Chalkoo a science scholar who has used media to reach each and everyone. his YouTube, videos are having millions of viewers, and he developed this passion of using video technology for documenting the procedures that he was doing in the hospital, explaining simple, complex things in a simple form. And I was told that some of his videos have highest downloads in USA. And all this technology and the technique that comes from the USA is a big part. We normally, whenever we see some video or something, if it comes from the West, we really appreciate it. The reason is not that, because they are white and, and they have supremacy over us. The reason is they take things very seriously. I mean, we have to admit this fact that West is 200 years ahead of us. The reason that whatever they do it with passion. And then you can imagine the people in the USA downloading Dr. Chalkoo's videos for their teaching learning. And he has highest number of downloads from the USA. So that's what I thought, when we thought of having a workshop for the science scholars. I thought one of the best examples will be to ask and request Dr. Chalkoo to come and share his experience of using video technology for, laparoscopic surgery, for medical sciences, for innovations, and then seeing the results. In fact, he was telling me right now we were having discussion. We thought it is a CUK Jariya. All of us understand CUK Jariya, because I may or I may not be there tomorrow. But if I have done something good and it remains for the people to see in future, I will always be getting some reward, hereafter also. So whatever contributions we do, in the form of documenting or videographing the best, or the ordinary ideas, scientific ideas, making them available to all, then we will be doing a service to our society. And that is basically what I said in the welcome address also in the first day, that the basic idea is to create a scientific temper in the society. And that scientific temper cannot be created by the filmmakers. And it cannot be created by the scientists. It can be created when two of us come together. Because वो कहते हैं ना कि जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा? The best scientific inventions, if they are done and if they are not shared with the people, they will remain in the lab or they will remain in the research papers. So unless we take them to the people, they will not translate into anything that will benefit the society. So that's why I requested Dr. Chalkoo, and I thank him that he accepted, and despite his busy schedule, he came here. Thank you very much, Dr. Chalkoo, for accepting and coming all the way to Turmala. It is not an easy job. You can come once here, but you cannot come here, and it's very difficult. First day you will feel, it's a picnic that you are going out. You see the serenity, and you see the visuals, and you see the cows and the goats, and that is great to see first time. But you cannot come here always. Nonetheless, he traveled all the way and he came to Turmala. And we value his presence here, and I will not stay before you and him. So I request Dr. Chalkoo to please go ahead and speak.
Yes, sir. Really, I'm humbled to stand here, and the way what the Dean Media Studies, Professor Shah has given you I think I don't deserve all this. He has gone beyond the expression which I deserve. Thank you, sir. I'm really humbled. And thank you for giving me a chance to interact with you all. I'm a student of surgery, and for a minute you all must be surprised that how a surgeon is there. But thank you. Professor Shahid Sahab has given some way, he has connected me to the show. And I think I'm not a wrong man. When I'm a right man, probably at the wrong show. So should I call that or a wrong show for a right man? I don't know. But in a way, I need to connect myself. Yes, I believe that we do the filming, but our films are a little different. They concern life. So we are serious about our films. We may not, much of the trailers of our films cannot be deleted. Once it's made, it goes with a mistake, an error, or it goes with an award. And that error is, the life. So in a way that we have a common show here. I'm also a director, a producer. In a way that I keep on filming. Beyond that, we have a common film which is common to us, the film of life, which we keep on writing, and the manuscript of that is individualist. And I believe, as Professor Shahid Sahab has rightly said, that you need to have passion. Passion is the only thing that gets you into the success. You have different things, you have progress, you have success, you have development. But this success has to be with ethics. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me space and time to interact with you. And Professor Arif Saab is here on my left side. I'm so glad that he accepted me, that I can be made a part of it. And in this show, my idea was to interact with all of you because you are the progeny, you have to take the life on. And in a way that the speciality that I am in is not very old, it's just 30 years old. I graduated myself from the same medical college, did my MBBS, and then I landed in my post-graduation from SKIMS. And subsequently, I took my foreign assignment. I was in Saudi Arabia, then I left to England and got my fellowships done. Then I came with this, that time around 2003, I returned back. That time probably there was no concept. It was only in tertiary hospitals. I was posted in a small hospital. I believe we go ahead and I will let you know what it is all about. But how, yes, the science of filmmaking is, for which I am so much thankful to Professor Shahid sir that he gave me a space. He's saying, he invited, I should say, I am thankful to you, sir, that he gave me an idea. And Tariq Saab is here on my left side. He also helped me. I'm indebted to them. Much of my success, the secret behind them is these people who gave me chance. And that viewership that he was talking is probably because when you are not given a chance, your voice will not reach to the project. Thank you, sir, for doing all that for me. And because it's a lot of work, a lot of efforts editing a film. Same is true with us. We make a video, first we perform the film as you do. It's exactly the same way. Then how good your film goes. That is the film of life, which we have to be accountable on the resurrection day, putting our manuscript to His Excellency. Sir, please give me the award. That's what I will say. So what he was saying about the CUK Sgr, that is the book that will open, the book of life, the film of life. And this is the film of your life. That's part 90% of this work you do is probably, I think, please bear me out. I'll be asked, how good laparoscopist you were? Master will ask me this thing. So that's what I believe that actually current electricity. So that's what Shahid Sir was time and again telling you that we have to be serious on that because we are created with a purpose and we have to return back. The day has an end and we have to be taken back up. So whatever good we do, it has to reach to others. That is what the idea of this media, this publishing. To publish or perish. This is what my teachers used to tell me. Published. Now we have patent or perish. So, because this stays for the progeny, and that is what CUK Sgr is meant by that. So, I start by saying these are few of the humble contributions to the field of minimal access surgery. The research that probably is globally we are recognized for that. So, certain things which we did probably.
एक ही पेज
So just as introduction is given so but I was saying that you need to start the show somewhere. The beginnings are very humble and small, and when you get surprised when you see. I was in Hong Kong, the building I was in. I went as a just make a talk. So what about is there that when you look over those dollars, skyscrapers, you don't believe your gap will fall. It's so high is this. You have to go far off to see the top, the pivot, the top of that building. For a minute I understood because I'm a writer also in a way. So I just saw that could we believe that this building stands on a small stone, but the foundation is. So you get surprised. Is it me who has done it? And that's exactly that. The beginnings are small, and it is not the machines that make the show. I am today presenting machines, but let me tell you, that's all hawks. It's the man behind the machine, the passion that you have, and then you will never not believe your own eyes. Is it the same dollar that stands on the same building? That's probably what I meant by this research highlighting this video, this slide is that some of our research is that got internationally globalized, the Chalkoo concepts. The Chalkoo concepts it's a PubMed journal, highly referenced with high index paper. So from London, Elsevier publications, all of you are aware about this. So this was considered the 2010 we published this article. This was in a subject where I am not specialized. We call it Department of Gynecology, subject of gynecology. But it is a passion, you see. So this concept, this article was put in first 10 top articles of that year. You see? So then you have a point on my name. It's in a surgery where all of you know, removal of uterus. What was the concept was how we can do less damage to the patient. I am a person who is specialized in holes. I move through a small hole and do a big dacoit, robbery inside. So I enter through a small hole, but my job is big inside. What was other way around 100 years till then? The concept of laparoscopy was that we were making big incisions, then we were performing the surgery with the hands. Now we enter through a small hole and do the same big job. So what's the idea of entering through a hole is that the damage is less, recovery is early return to work, then cosmesis. Nobody wants to have an ugly scar, you just present. Even if an old man, 60, you see in cosmesis, no, it does concern. So it's not only that, it's a total way of surgery, blood loss. So that really changed the scenario. I believe 93, I was a house surgeon in the same medical college where I stand as a professor now. So we used to go to a surgical ward. I think some of you must be, Professor must be aware about it. Ariksa and Ariksa. They can tell you that they might have a visit, you go. What was the surgery? It was the most hated subject. You would see a patient being operated by a surgeon as if it is a root throw. Force asan way kara. The butcher throw. There was a pipe asan, you would ever. Even as an MBBS student when I entered, he was not better surgeon than the few. I hope you don't mind in between I talk in So I entered. You shouldn't make a chicken. You can visit with Marys. 93 and 94 started laparoscopy. And believe me, today when you go into the same ward, you have a smile on the patient's face. Those things are gone. You will not believe. I think we should salute those people. They need a standing ovation. So आप देखिए ना वो चीज खुदा नहीं खुदा सा तो है वो लोग तो that is bad. So this happens with repeated research. It's only through research that you get into a better day out for the community. They must have happened in every science or in every filmmaking. So that's true. That's what I said. What is this concept about that? Making it smaller and smaller. Chalkoo's point again published. PubMed highly referenced. It's a point we gave in laparoscopy on a point which was a point like I belong to Gulbarga Colony, Hyderpura, Sector 1, 148 in the morning. I gave this address to the driver. He absolutely reached it at my door. If I tell you come to Gulbarga Colony, literature mentioned Gulbarga Colony. We told them no, it is Sector 1, house number 148. Professor Chalkoo lives there. So I mean, you're not a beggar the time. So that was a natural. So it was appreciated a lot because you see when you talk about a region, it is a country. Where exactly there? So you reach. So it was an address in laparoscopy. That's the point where we make a code for a surgery called removal of Gauss from BC. Then there is the Chalkoo modification. There are different modifications. We also tried. It's not always you create a bulb. You not need to be a Thomas Alva Edison. You can modify. You can increase the voltage. It's equally good. So don't think that you're creating a new thing and you will be called a scientist. We have a wrong impression of we call them scientists and there is a big man. There's nothing like big or small. It's a bend of mind that you get into a subject, you give a new direction to your filmmaking. So that is my way of handling things in my subject. How far I have succeeded or people are there to decide about it. That's what I meant by Chalkoo's point. I reference. I went to almost 12 countries. In US, I went as a who invited this subject. 2013, I was felicitated there in Las Vegas. We had a world conference. So when they understood that, no, there is a sense in what you say. That means there is a point in point. But when you publish such points and put your name, Chalkoo, they will ask 10 questions. The reviewers are very harsh. Why do you want to put it a point? Why? Point special. I said, when there can be McBurney's point, when there can be Palmer's point, why not Chalkoo's? So I mean, you have to understand it. There's point. Yes, there's nothing. Those are not the people with horns. It is just that you have to impress. You have to be sincere on what you are talking, and it should really matter to the subject, should matter to the patient. I am related to the patient. Then there is we have other Chalkoo's technique. This is again in it's a PubMed paper, highly referenced, 24 journals reference this paper. And it has highly citable content. I am a person from medical college who has high citations in recently I was given, I never knew, because we have been doing this for the last 25 years, this job. आज तो publication आप लोग इसलिए कर रहे हो, patent बना रहे हो कि हमें assistant professor से associate professor बना. Believe me, when I was an assistant surgeon, degrees बहुत थी, लेकिन title तो है ना, professor शायद साहब तो dean है. ये यहाँ तक पूछने में तो आपको 20 साल 30 साल लगे. But it was not that. At that level, when you are a small, you are doing a big work. That's not by doing that. So what is my point is keep on publishing your films. You will get a recognition by that. So can we go back?
Back.
Can we go back? Just then there is a point like Chalkoo technique. There's a point thing called Chalkoo stitch. Then there's a point on different surgeries we modified in our own way. And recently we were awarded, in between you have a Chalkoo's retractor. There's a patent which probably was conceived somewhere in 2013, where is university? And there is Allah Ta'ala in Makbir, Professor Bhatt, he came to medical college and made a talk. I tell you how these talks help. When he said that there is something like innovations, I had no feeling. I mean, we are not. We are not into these innovations. He introduced the subject, and I did not know Professor Bhatt. He's late now. God bless his soul. So I went to university. The next day I talked to him. I said, sir, I'm a medical college. I was lecturer. I have a point in my mind. We should have an instrument like this. Can it be possible? He said, why don't you sit? He made me have a cup of tea. His wife is also there. And he told me, you just put a उधर से वापस उसने निकाले वो सब कागजात वागजात मैं उसने पाते बारन के भारत से ये क्या चीज हूँ and put a manuscript. We will work on it. It has to be given by the patent office, national patent it is, but it was not a gift. But the way he helped me, believe me, 2013 we put it. 2000 last year was 2021. I was awarded. इतना time लगा 8 साल. मैंने कहा इतना time लगना for a patent to get, because it goes through a rigorous process of there. But thankfully, with your blessings, we got a patent, and this patent is done. You could put in centimeter incision. It does just a small hole, and then inside it does a big work. That's what patent is all about. This is all for the benefit of patients. We are doing it. So, what is my point is that in every subject, you could conceive your idea. If you have an idea, it is too late if you don't put it in words. Make a manuscript about it. Share discuss with the mentor or the guy who has of that caliber of that's also important. You need to know your mentors first. So then he will promote you. And believe me, you could be one among them. You need not to have thorns to be called as a scientist. It is there. If it is in your mind, in your subject, you can do it. Then the channel, as Professor Shahid Sir has already given you. Thank you very much for the help that I kept on getting. But I kept on publishing. मुझे याद है वो जमाना भी 2003 मैंने रिटर्न फ्रॉम इंग्लैंड एंड आई वाज पुट टू जंगल कब डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल टंगमर मुझे याद है मैंने वहां बताया अमीर सर वो मिनिस्टर दपुन यो चालकू से वो जान बासन डॉक्टर बासन जान से करके तुम महिमन गांव के ना के घर तो सर आप कुछ मुझे दीजिए सामान वामान बचुस हां शुगानो बेड मुक को बेड बोला दिलाई द बेड वो क्या चीज है सर मैं याद है सुना लेपरोस्कोपी आज सुन से जमान चाक मारूं कि आज जात से कर तो ना सा ऑन इट्स मशीन मगर इतना शीन में ये बजट आसन की या सब डिस्ट्रिक्ट तो मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में जी आस ठीक है अगर दी हो तो मैं करूं सिस्टम आई हेल्प यू तो believe me that time that machine cost was 80 lakh rupees मगर 3 lakh रुपए budget of a sub district was on but he got it in 2000 and there was a news they labeled me as jungle kamangar because he is doing now what does the hospital thanks to my senior person he was heading the department Professor Munir Khan. He came to Kmr. I called them all. They said, what are you doing here? Without blood, you're doing all this. You're not afraid they will kill you. And the locality there in the Kmr, they are like, they will not. I still remember the first person I operated, lady, she is still alive. She still told me, no, you machine luggage and make She says, hey, machine China, nothing but boros. So I was, with this car,
which was in Sona, I machine, which is ijazat bukara istemal. You can't use without the permission of the patient. Then I am still sure, I will show you that affidavit. I wrote to his wife, to his husband, within Zukunal Zameen, was Zamindar Aksa, Mikshu Zameen, his Bash Zukunal Zameen, within the Zukunal Zameen. When he did then ijazat, I will guess the key. And believe me, she said, okay, then go ahead. Because husband understood, okay, I got in mind. And I get the surgery. Then you went out. Kashmir time is greater Kashmir times of India. Excelsior, everywhere. Laparoscopy possible in January because it was a January. Then we conducted an international conference. We published that. So what my idea to tell you is that it's not the machine that makes. It is here with you. It's a after care. You could be the master. So believe in yourself, what you can do. And then go ahead, believe me, paralateral ways come out, and God helps you. But you have to be sincere about what you are doing. Not for the showbiz just to get some, fortune should one be wholesaler, but I must. I think that's the idea. At this age, I'm a student. I still want to learn better from my colleagues, my friends. So learning has no end. There's nothing, no word like learn. Learn it. What do we call it? It's a gradual process of learning. There's no end to it. And keep on dissipating. Okay. So that in between we have also done, you can see in between at the top, there's a book called My Expressions. I don't know how many of you that I went around to around 12, 13 countries as a faculty in my talks, but I took this book everywhere. So this is a book which we have published somewhere in 2013. I was thankfully by chancellor at the University of Kashmir, Professor Talat Saab, released this book. And this book is about life, film of life. So it's just from the beginning to the end, what's the idea of coming here? So in my own small way, I'm nobody, I'm not a spiritual leader here, but I can say in my own observation, I have put my words. If you have time, it's available on Amazon, or cost, you can do so people have just enjoyed this book. This is My Expressions, the book on life beyond laparoscopy, what we do. So yes, that is true that I would tell about the innovations and how that is surgical armamentarium. What I would like to tell about that. That is the place, probably all of you know, alma mater, my mother. I'm born of this place. I salute it in the morning because what I stand here is just because of this place. And now, very few people get a chance that they school from the same school where they teach. I mean, there's no excitement. And believe me, the day I landed as a teacher was equally when I landed as a teacher. My elder brother, I used to tell him, I belong to a village, Baramulla. So, sir, it's a village. So, for a villager, I mean, you coming, it's just going to SK. I was a 7th class student when I saw this college, and I still remember. Can I be so okay? I can become a doctor. Tariq Saab is from the same village, Baramulla. So he can tell you, for us in those days, I still remember, the topmost person would be taught, he should be a good doctor. So you go Egypt. That used to be in our times. I know, Zamana, my son tells me, that's a that time it was not like that. I mean, you had to earn this. Donation ka zamana nahi tha. So what I say that, then you enjoy the same cup of tea with a different taste when you earn by your own, efforts. So I would just restrict my talk on the total talk. The idea of this is that, as Shah Saab has given you a description, that you need to have passion for this. Believe me, whatever we have small or big, we have done and we have to do, go a long way ahead. So it is only with passion, sincerity, and constant work that takes you to this show. At the outset, I would say that the first step is that you are just a laborer. There is a word like laborer and a craftsman. How do you differentiate the two? Laborer is who doesn't put his mind to his hand. He's a laborer. It's just going. But if you put your mind to the hand, you become a craftsman. It's a different to be a craftsman. So curiosity, if you have that, become a craftsman, right? So this is the beginning of the show, how we have started, the times, the wandering man, then how the patient was put. You see, this was the pre-anesthesia era. The man was caught. He was held by people, 2, 3 people on this side, and then incision was made, and I was crying. I mean, imagine, this was the times how this patient was operated. And then you see the gadgets, how these gadgets were. These gadgets were exactly like Mr. CUK Sgr Kmr. She was operated with these gadgets. Then we went to this show. This is the thing that we make an incision. Then we enter 2 hands and operate a disease, correct or whatever, replace an organ, whatever is that to be done. Then we move to this, which is current fashion. We make only small holes. That is laparoscopy. It's video guided surgery. And now Mr. Robert is in the dark. Now he does the job. Where is the surgeon? Surgeon lies in the console. He's collecting the money. The job is done by a servant over there. That's Robert. But the Robert is being, I got trained in robotic surgery in 2017, but unfortunately we don't have robot. We had some workshops, but I think 1 or 2 years, we'll be glad, no sir, we will have a robot in the lab. Inshallah, robotic surgery will come. This is the current scenario, and this all journey in surgery has become possible only because of the people who have done work in that regard. And now, what is evolution of surgery? You could see, and I must thank and applauds to science and technology. We are in the science and technology, but only my humble request to all of you, myself also, is that let's not forget humanity. That is what I feel. I put an article the other day. I used to write to Greater Kashmir, but this I was other day feeling. I put up an article on that. Kindly let us go into this digital technology, but let us not forget humanity. This is all, and I should never. It's my feeling that the old age homes are coming. We're putting our parents in the old age. Now, which one is better? He has done the job. This should not be at that. Same is true. The profession I belong. I mean that empathy. That you know artificial intelligence. You know we are into artificial intelligence. The problem in that is the surgeon is in America, patient is in India. He is operating from America. He doesn't know who is the patient, who is the surgeon. Unless the patient comes to me, tells me 10 times, Chalkoo sir, paane ikas theater. That is believe me, and the section I had, it is a trust, it's the relation of this. Our films are made with 100% surety before seeing the director, they have to see. The actor carry answer. But our films are that very different because they come with a trust. And that trust is empathy, that trust is backed with, feelings, emotions. Unless we incorporate those things into the robot, Shafa is key. But Shafa we have not to follow. Shafa tab aayegi, jab aap wafa karoge apne patients. Wafa kaise aayegi? When you're sincere, when you interact with the patient, listen to his problems, and then correct. Believe me, that thing is, that's why we are into litigations. FIRs. Patient with the government, patient say catheter. That is what I keep on telling my people, myself also, that we have not to forget clinical medicine. Clinical medicine is very important. So you could see now everything is metal. Everything is metal. The person, and I don't know, the times are not different. Only brain has to be transplanted. In China, there was a recently, 2 years before, you must have put up that article. They keep on doing experiments. China is very fishy about these, and West has an eye on that. So I keep on going through these journals, what is new in the journal. So they are working on putting a head on somebody's body. So the question here lies with the soul. So if it's one that human now, it will take the name of the body. I mean, that was a debate. So these are fishy attempts, but who knows what the future, I don't have a word, will carry for them. And that's the only thing to be done, sorry. That's the only thing to be done. What the next science will be, what will be the future man like? Really, it is, I don't have a word. Another 50 years, we'll see at times. Probably it's also, it would be same, but another 50 years will bring us. Will it be a good time or a bad time? But I just have a word to say. Hear me out. Dear, for experience and seeing things better. Sir, I have an apprehension Are we going to take good times or bad times? Digital technology is taking us in negative aspect, you do know it. We are into comforts of this mobile, these things, robotism, and in my profession. But I think we are losing the impact. We're losing the touch of man. This is very important. Let's not be at the cost. I'm not against, I'm a man of machines. I drive a lot of machines. But I'm not against machines. But let's understand that we just have to understand where it crosses the humanism. We should cross it. Should cross it. That's very important. Because the final purpose of life is not how related a dollar you make. Important is if you do not understand the purpose of life. Because I'm a man from that also. That film I have written. That is my expression in the book. So I will cross it over there. So secondly, when I saw this person, I read it that he is my inspiration. Believe me, whatever small I have done, I am doing and I have to go to do, is that he says that we must not say every mistake is a foolish. I was wondering, 2000, somewhere in BC, I don't know which time is he is putting a small sentence, but there's a world, there's a book he is telling you. He's telling you that's a problem with us. When a student talks, cross words, you only create when you go across the lines. If you go along the lines, you are one in the crowd. But if you want to go across the line, you have to be a warrior. A researcher is basically a fighter, a warrior, a crusader. आपको वही सिर्फ लड़ाई नहीं करनी है, लड़ाई आपको ये भी करनी है कि दूसरा आदमी आपको करते. That fight, that wind will blow against you. And you go more, it disciplines you, because more winds will have. There your sincerity, there your passion, your staunchness will work. And that's what this man says. Every mistake is not. And things which have come to us have come through mistakes. We rectify them and make them. All those innovations, inventions, there have been mistakes on. So that was the humble beginning which I was telling you, the sub-district hospital, and we introduced it for the first time in the state. Laparoscopy was possible that time, and I did, I kept on moving across. And in one of the conferences, the Bible of Surgery, we have textbook of surgery. He's the editor for that. I was wondering, can I have a photograph with him? Sometimes we just see the illustration. That's how it goes on. So I शायद साहब ने अपने साथ बिठाने का मौका दिया. Thank you, sir. ये भी एक जमाना था कि मैं एक फोटो भी. This is all how it goes, and feel humbled about it. There is nothing like you are complete. You are an incomplete. You can keep on moving and feel small. The day in one of the expressions I have put that when you do big, feel small, because bigger is in line. When you conquer bigger, you should feel small, because biggest is yet to be conquered. When you conquer the biggest, now what should you feel? You must, here I use the word must, feel small, because the unknown is yet to be explored. And the day you explore the unknown, that's the only day when you merge with that utopia of life. That is the beauty. It's a mountain you keep on decorating. That's God. Actually, the aim is we want to explore it. That is all this science all about. You want to see him through that film making. I want to see him through the whole. But it is a mountain. जितना आप इसके पास जाओगे, उतना ही ये दूर जाता है. That's how the next thing is born. We call it. So we started our humble beginning, and we got an international conference we conducted. All the medical faculty came at that time in 2005-06. We kept on publishing our work and got felicitated everywhere. Thankfully, all the teachers who have taught me, I am indebted to all of them, that where I stand is because of them. Then this is a paper which we published. I said about the Chalkoo technique, which was published, and the best article, the Chalkoo innovations. It has been referenced by the elsewhere, and we have gone all across the globe to present and tell this. We got standing ovation in Hong Kong for this, for which the video which was played. The state award. So when I went for the state award, that is. What you are a lecturer, you get a state award. So I said, sir, where is awards? So what I'm telling you, what will be here, obviously, there's a hierarchy in awards also. They're not worth for your people who are senior to. I did not take it, but I made myself more aggressive, so I should do even better than that. That's what you should take. That is the era of open surgery. How this was a Chalkoo's incision. And this is referenced also. The idea is that making small holes, you could see, would be big. laparotomies, this could be done. But that was a possible even in a sub-district hospital that time. Then we went to laparoscopy, but I kept on publishing. That is a Chalkoo's innovation technique. Elsevier, highly referenced article, now high impact journal, referenced by 24 articles. It has more than 500 citations. So then I kept on, being invited by China. I went to present my work. I went to Turkey. I went to Japan. I went to Singapore. So almost I think 10, 12 countries invited me in different forums, and I kept on publishing my work. And then we published a work on international. This is now I am an associate editor for this journal, which is a highly impacted journal. That time I was really wondering whether my article will be take a shelf of this or not. That's how it goes, a constant work goes. And we were felicitated only with the certificate of honor from the J&K government. That time, that is Chalkoo technique. This is from the government of J&K, which felicitated. The award was not given. The awards do not matter. Certificate is there, that is enough. So recognition is there. So this is US in 2013 we are invited. This is a galaxy of surgeons from all across and my work was appreciated even in USA. So we were enrolled in World Suez Who for the kind of work and the subject I am in, because laparoscopy grew in my times when I was a house surgeon. So we know ins and outs of laparoscopy. Laparoscopy knows ins and outs of us. Now it is a full-fledged subject. You have a doctorate to be done in this, or some people who just work with us as scholars, we teach them this subject. Then you could understand how the beginning happened of surgery and anesthesia, how a man was put on the table, and then there were so many people getting him ready. And thankfully, I should stand up and give an ovation to these people who have worked so hard. They lost their lives, and they deserve a salute, standing ovation, because it is because of these heroes of surgery and anesthesia who have been dying, lost their sleep, who have lost their life in getting us into the present scenario of comfort, dreaming. The days when the surgery was done without anesthesia, when the surgery was done with those sharpish and now the robot is going and you're so precisely done. Next day you are at home. Imagine, all these people deserve that. But I would say that, so you need to understand, without tools we are fools. You should know how to handle tools. But a fool with a tool is useless. So you have to understand how to handle, use the tool. So that is very important. But behind this tool is the man. Is the man. Tool. I could say this is relevant to the show, what it is conveyed. So, aapko kitna bhi de, it is not there. So that's what I'm saying. Even in a small hospital would not matter. Research can be done even in jungle. So, but you need to have that bent of mind. You don't have to go to University of Michigan to do research. You can do it anywhere. And everything that you contribute in your specialty is a research. You need to get rewarded for that. This was an era which is settled there. This is open era, how surgery was done with these instruments. Believe me, if you come to a good hospital, you will not find these instruments now because they have become obsolete. Because now the times have changed. And let me tell you honestly that the day the person who gave this concept, it is like ek mazhab se aap dusra mazhab bana rahe. You can understand. Let's not create the debate. It's like एक मजहब को जिसको 100 साल हो गए हैं अब आप दूसरा मजहब कर रहे हो. You should change. क्या Tims क्या कर रहे हो? Tims thrown vision. That is what happened to the man who changed this concept of incisions to holes. He was put behind bars. He was depicted by his friends. That happens. That is what I am saying. You have to be a crusader. You have to be a prophet of that thing. Because people will. You are working against the market of other person. I think that thing is good. It will definitely find a way, as Professor Shahid Saab said in his outset speech, that if you have passion, the ways will frame out for you. That's what he said. I was humbled, sir, for that. You are calling me that Chalkoo has some different idea. Otherwise, I was not connected with your films. He somehow got me connected. So the idea is that the passion is there. And believe me, the paralateral ways will come up. If the road gets blocked, that has happened with me. Let me tell you honestly. I have seen it, sir. So I have conveyed what my observations. Paralateral ways will come out if you are sincerely doing your job. And this is how the open surgery, you can understand. There used to be a big incision, 2 hands were put in. And now this is where we stand. You can see our theater now, only monitors, patients somewhere. Nowhere you can see the inside of it. Nowhere, how our students are trained and we give them this kind of training. Now simulation, all of you understand simulation, you know, this is a very true. You have a, because it is not a learning curve. You can't become overnight a master. Like it's खूबसूरत students उचांत करो so guitar बजावा in that idea बच्चे बाबा करा so 20 साल लगे होते हैं 30 साल लगे होते हैं कि musician खत्म आ सकता है. That is that behind the show that then you celebrate 20 years, you know, success overnight calling people वाह क्या गुलाब गुलाब बनने में 20 साल लगते हैं. To understand these people are doing this kind of training behind the screen, then they go to the patient before they do the real surgery. They tell me, sir, how many times you have done this surgery? I tell my postgraduates, I shall say dilate करमस college. So the currents which you get us, so Mr. Radhasan Kanapaksh. I mean, that's the passion. You need to have this passion in making your film, that your film will catch the mark. No, this is the true film that conveys the essence. That's what I mean by my film is this film which is to be sincere, because we have no option of an error. We cannot remake this film. So that is how our theaters now look like. You can see the show. 94 se aaj dekhiye kya zamana hai. And just to play this video, a small video. Can we play it there? That's for a one kind. Can you go back? Go. Bari mo bol kare. İşte 2019 siz ikus software full site. Ben şimdi बोल
एक बार जरा वीडियो चला बेटा ना हाइपरलिंक છે નીચે આસપાસ શાયદ એમ્બેડ કરે
हां
वो एक स्लाइड में एम्बेड करके होगा तो पीपीटी है
हां
ये किधर एम्बेड करके इसका एक नीचे आता है ना
बटन आता है.
ये बटन आता है ना
प्रीवियस स्लाइड में इरफान प्रीवियस स्लाइड पे जाओ फिर आगे आ जाओ ऑनलाइन
ये तो है लेकिन I wanted to play this video for some reason. Actually, आप शो मैनेज. So it's interesting. तो 2019 वाला सिस्टम है तो उस पे चलेगा. 2019 16 and 19. अगर ये चलता तो ज्यादा अच्छा.
आप देखो वीडियो इसमें ऊपर फाइल्स बना
पेन ड्राइव में फाइल
में फाइल नहीं है.
ये हैकना चाहिए था. आप से रोबोटिक सर्जरी का वीडियो एक है वो मेरे पास नहीं है अलग से. बाकी तो चला सकते हैं.
सब ने डालते हैं ना इसमें वो वीडियो में चाहिए स्लाइड बन जाए तो
2019 है ना. ये नहीं है शायद. मेरे पास है दूसरे जो आपको प्रेजेंटेशन का हाँ ये
वीडियो प्ले करेगा मेरे पास 2-3 ख्याल आ गए. एक तो इन्होंने हेड ट्रांसप्लांट की बात की. He talked about the head transplant. I remember when Professor Chalkoo was doing the turning point on Doordarshan.
just stop it.
Some of you must have been very young, others must not have been born by the time. Professor Chalkoo was a big name in India, a scientist who was a great communicator also. So he was doing a weekly program, Turning Point, on Doordarshan. So it's a scientific program, and he used to receive questions from all over words, and he will try to reply them, brief segment. One day a question was asked to Professor Ishpal, that Professor Ishpal, you are such a brainy person. Is it possible to get the brain transplant so that somebody can get your brain? So Professor Ishpal said that it may become possible one day, but the irony will be, it will not be you getting Professor Ishpal's brain. It will be Professor Ishpal getting a young body. Because actually everything, the soul lies in the brain. So if the transplant takes place someday, it will be a person getting a new young body, and we don't know how many people will be killed for that. Because the people with muscle and the money will kidnap people and then get their brain transplant into another body. That was one. Second, he rightly said, about the mistakes. And there is this famous saying that those who make no mistakes normally don't contribute anything. Unless you make mistakes, because if you do something, you are bound to do mistakes. And if you don't make mistakes, then you are not contributing anything. I'm not saying that you should deliberately make mistakes, but only those who seriously work and make mistakes will learn from their mistakes and will go forward. The third important thing which he referred to, and in fact I just chipped it in, when he was saying something, I said, Pooja. These are, I saw a film on heart transplant long back. I don't remember the film, but I remember the metaphors that were used in that film. How can you bring in humor in your scientific film? So the film was for 40 minutes, and in that, when the surgery was being performed, he said first when the flesh was being cut, the commentator says, the doctor acts like a butcher. He cuts the meat. The next he uses a carpenter, because you have to cut the sternum. So he has to bring a saw and cut this. And then when he was trying to stitch it together, it's like a cobbler. He used the cobbler. He's cobbler, no, he's stitching these shoes and all. The leather is being stitched. And finally the dressing is being done and the gauze is being put. He used the word tailor. So these four things he used in the film, which I remember vividly, and I exactly remember why he used. So when you are doing a scientific film, so what's also to be is, how do you make it more, pleasing for somebody who is from a non-scientific background? How can you bring in humor in your work? Because that's something that sells. You are doing a very serious scientific film, but when you bring in these small things, add humor to it, it clicks. And once it clicks, it becomes a success. So these are the three things which came to my mind when he was speaking. I think the video is ready. We can
Thank you, sir. I think this rightly put. He has segmented the surgeon, different aspects of surgeon. He is definitely a butcher, but a defined butcher in a way that he's a cobbler, he's a tailor, he's a carpenter. If you put them two together, I would say there's no doubt to say that a surgeon is what he is. That's definitely a beautiful segmentation of what a surgeon is. And that's how it started. Our fathers were the barbers. Still, Barber Association of UK is still there. When I went there was a big board at the entry and barbers are shown. Let's not forget about. अभी तो मैं बोलता हूँ ना बच्चों support करना in our old age. Missionaries beyond graduating. We need to salute them. They are our forefathers. We will go into any kind of development, but let's not forget our roots. Our roots are from that. So though they have been our teachers, sometimes people will say that, hey, उस teacher को फिर हम disregard देते हैं. Ibsen Zaman was in the laparoscopy. Ibsen Zaman was open surgery. We will not tell him. This is what has happened. About my student, they will give you a bad name. Of robotics ka zamana. Oh, sorry, you cannot every time something new may come. I cannot stop that boy. Tell him the machine is almost the question here is that we give that regard because in his time, that technique, that subject was prevalent. We have to give regard for that. So times will change. So that is what I am saying that we should not do. That is empathy. That is feelings. That's not crossword that saying that I have done that. Great. Thank you, sir, for this, what you have said. Because this is a message in what Professor Shahid has said that kindly do ignore that part. That cobbler, you should salute him. That he does a part. अब हम वो defined way में tie लगाई कर रहे हैं that is what he does. This is finally that switching is saying what a cobbler does, and we have so many techniques from cobbler. Those are called cobbler techniques, sir. I'm not joking. We learn from them. They are our fathers. So that's what is. So let us go just to give you a video. The idea of this video is just to see how now surgery is. So you won't find any incision on this. This is what we are doing. So how what we do? Every surgery is possible doing this. We do a lot GI surgeries, CBD surgeries, hysterectomies, any kind of surgery. You have to do the topography on the abdomen. So this filmmaking is also important. You need to know now editing job. You need to know effects in the movie, so you can better project your work. That is also in a way, sir. I am related to filmmaking also. So I do this editing job myself. Wish you all a zaman. 500 close editor में you should get chama chama. You should get which one I guess you process bachao. So that is why I tell you the efforts. Professor Shahid sir, I am really indebted to him, sir. Thank you very much. Those views are because of you that you gave me space. This YouTube channel that is running. Believe me, you have 3,000 subscribers, and I have never. Somebody was telling me book up to monetize. I said I have not done it for money. It is not only everything is there. And those videos were so much of efforts doing Tariq's of they have been done a lot of work. And whenever I used to have a cup of tea, put a space of work, say, and this is how it has gone. But believe me, this is published. Unless it reaches to others, there is no. That is what is important for doing this. That channel has grown because of your efforts, sir. Thank you very much for that. And I requested again, if there was some time, but some technicalities are there. So now I don't have time to make these. To be frank enough, we have some other jobs to do. But this channel stands for the good of all of us. Whosoever gets into it, something is learned. I was saying that ये जो YouTube वगैरह है ये सिलसिला जारी है एक जमाना था
But the question here is, are you holding the camera as well as this?
No, camera is held by another person. You have a cameraman. This board, our entry is through these small trocars, we call them. Entry into the abdomen, not through incision. Then a cameraman is a different, he's a surgeon, different surgeon. We call him a camera surgeon. So he is trained in handling the camera. He gets into the abdomen. He will show you. Then a surgeon, a laparoscopic surgeon will have his entry with 2 hands. Until maybe you may need a third person as an assistant. Any organ you have to go, you precisely go with that organ. Now the beauty is that your film is not target oriented. पहले आप एक फिल्म देखने के लिए 4 फिल्में देखनी पड़ती थी, यानी एक इस ऑर्गेनिस्तान वापस उसे 4 रन का माथा कर चाहिए तो ठीक है, तो हाथ से तो आपको सब चीजें उठती है ना, कौन precisely do it. But here you can precisely go to the particular. Another beauty is that it is a small window showing you a big toe inside. Small entry showing a big thing inside. Any tumor of GI, whether gastric cancer, whether colon cancer, everything is done now laparoscopically. The only thing which cannot be done, I believe the time will come, we may not be there and we will be conveyed the message. That is the LSCS, because we can't get the baby out from there. There may be a time will come, they will tell us now they squeeze it somewhere and then take it out through the hole and death. That's the only thing that cannot be done, but rest, I think, so you can see that how beautifully, and another advantage is that you can we forward this, which is not the one which I wanted to. यहाँ से कर सकते हैं? हाँ? नहीं कर सकते। Okay.
Click more.
Right. So the only instruments you can see, no hand inside, but it is the hand that, what is the instrument? It's not like hand, there is instruments. It is your hand that will make the instrument. And then you precisely get into the abdomen, you get into the particular organ and you do the surgery. This I just wanted to show. I'm not interested. I know you people are not interested in this.
Sir, नहीं ये तो बताइए हो क्या रहा है?
got GI surgery. Initial patient is a patient whose tumor is in the colon. And we are doing money too.
Castration.
Now you can see precisely the part is held. You have to work with all the 4 hands, I should say upper hands, lower hands, that's that. So all the work has to be precisely you go, this blood loss is less. You can appreciate, we have to go to a vessel, we can appreciate it. And the beauty is that you are 20 times magnified you, which a normal eye open surgery could not see. Second beauty is that you could not record these procedures. for the progeny, for the students, for the if somebody wants to see his own surgery. Now you can give a video to the same patient next day that you could see. He could pick up your mistakes also. So be sure that when you are giving it, you bring yourself up. So what my point is that it is the teaching material also. It is taken to the public also for awareness, and they become interested. Oh, this is the way how it goes. I just wanted to show you. There was another video. Unfortunately, we could not play that. Can we go a little ahead? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I am not interested. I just wanted to show get how do we get to this. Yes. We can play that also. We can play that. अच्छा सो अगर यूट्यूब से कोई है तो क्या आप you can play one of those videos which has got the most 70,000 views, was done under leadership of Shahid Sahwani. We got 70,000 views, and believe me that Rishi Sahab called me, sir, आपको मुबारक, this क्या है? तब your video has 70,000 views आए। उसमें आप लिखे डॉक्टर चालकू लिखे सिर्फ। अच्छा, you could do the searches. हाँ, you could was three. हाँ, इसको। Videos पे जाए, videos हाँ, videos. Click. Go down. We are publishing 355 minimal access minimal access. Bahut to issue highly and downloads are more from US. It is written there because when you see the analytics downloads kahan se aaye, go up. On this kind of in fact, it should. Yes, it should. That is why, because we don't promote this channel. That's why I wanted the help from all you people who are into science and making. How should we promote it? I just wanted not for monetary reasons, but it should help the people. Because a lot of work has gone into making. I would not work with you around this. I would like to promote your channel. I have done the social media marketing. And I still remember, मुझे उन्होंने बताया कि शाहिद साहब was planning to put it to the channel back in the दिए थे as a director of the तो इन्होंने एक टेलीविजन चैनल बनाया शूज में थे लिंक we have put it on our channel वहाँ पे भी हालांकि उनको तो डॉक्टर से but I mean they still were watching this talk and it is written on everything that was your copyright so they said that it's a अलग चलो कोई नहीं ये बाद में देखेंगे मिशन एक्सेस चलो आप लेट अस गो टू प्रेजेंटेशन फर्स्ट बात अगर की टाइम हो तो क्या ये कैसा प्ले की ये वीडियो दूसरा रोबोटिक सर्जरी आई वांटेड टू शो यू व्हाट इज नाउ वी डू सी सर्जन स्टेज इन द कंसोल and the robot goes and it sees a arms of the robot, they do extra job, and using the signal from the console. The different consoles have come now. You can just work from there. The surgeon can have a cup of tea in between. No need to wash and all that. I mean, so those are the things that we are at present, and I hoping let's hope that we get it. It is a lot of money and budgeting and that's also the government. That is it. So can we, if it works, okay. If it doesn't, let us go ahead. Chale, you video chalo isko. It's quite interesting. I wanted to say because all of you will be surprised to see how robotic surgery works.
This is actually the picture.
And चला पानी इस लैपटॉप दो तीन लैपटॉपों में मैंने चलाया जिसमें कौन सा लैपटॉप था सिर्फ मैंने कम नहीं पूछा था बताना को कम नहीं चलिए आप आगे चले doesn't matter but it was very interesting. I'm sorry that this video did not save. No, this was not my work. This is the robotics. I just wanted to give a concept because we are not having robots. I got trained in 2017, 2018. But because of we don't have robots, we are not doing this. But I'm sure another few years, people will be working, our students will be working. You will
pen drive होता है presentation sheet.
हाँ?
We can play it from a pen drive.
Pen drive में है ये वीडियो शायद. ये नहीं. Can you go to the presentation? Go to the check करो. Presentation पर देखें. अगर चले आत्माची लिंक कर सकते हैं. This was interesting video. कि ये चले ये आपकी वीडियो चलता है. क्या ये चले?
मैं YouTube पर available.
Yes, must be available. अगर नहीं चलता है, forget it. Let us go to next slide. This is fine. This is the instrument that I was talking about. We got struggled for this for 8 years. And last year we were awarded this patent by the National Patent Office, Delhi. And I should thank all the people from NIT who supported me, mechanical engineering. The question arose by the committee that dear Dr. Chalkoo still remember the letter after 5 years that I'm sorry, we're sorry to convey that after 5 years of struggle that this patent cannot be patented, not patented. I said, how? Then I had to answer. They said, because you are talking about an angle, you can see that angle, sorry, that angle which you are talking is at 90 degree. So 90 degree in mechanical engineering, they know better, this 90 degree angle. You can make a 60 degree like this, not 90 degree. I said, what is the idea? Why can't it be? They said, no, in mechanical engineering, there is no concept of 90 degree because then you want to work the instrument, okay? I went to one of the professors, Professor Shahid is also there, he's in mechanical engineering. I don't know, he was assistant professor, associate professor in IT. So he told me that you go to Dr. Hanif, he's assistant professor in mechanical engineering. He said, I will go through it. As such, there is no concept like this. But struggling for 6 to 8 months, kept on pestering them. But thankfully, they came out. They said, no, then you have to, introduce a spring inside this a spring is to be put, then your concept will be patented. And I answered after 1 year of work to them that this is been, I have consulted my mechanical engineering people that this is possible because many things get involved in instrumentation. But okay, I want it this way, it will not come. Then you have many specialities. So it is an intercollaborative, interdisciplinary research. So unless you get along with the fellow colleague who will help you, I mean those are the technical problems in patenting an instrument, a concept. But thankfully it went through, and 2000 last year, somewhere in October, we got this patent certificate. So, and I should thank them all, especially Professor Patsa, that is so best in peace. He was a wonderful person. He told me, मुझे याद है, उसकी wife को मैंने बोला, please convey Zurakas namaz because he had to give value to the people who are required. That is what I said. You should not forget the empathy. Somebody has talked a good word with you, you say, Sadka Jarya. So that is what I say. Give regard to people, give regard to your teachers, give regard to the people. It may not be with degrees and all that. So everybody is a teacher from whom we learn. That's the only way to go respectively in life, to make a sincere picture of your life. So that is my book. I would say that I would not say go and read it, would waste time, because this is only philosophy. I would say these are Chalkan expressions. I remember your role also partly. Arshid is there, Arshid Mehraj. Thanks to him also. मुझे याद है वो जमाना भी जब मैं एक आर्टिकल बनाता था, पातों दासन ग्रेटर कश्मीर उसका उस दिन फोन करे मुझे दे तो आज जाए रसा यार आज तो मैंने हालांकि मुझसे में दिमाग की नहीं मुझ रहा था थी मन को bilateral रहा but he has published so many articles of Ajaz. Yes, yeah. He used to just tell me tonight, June Chima, which is the publisher. I'm asking this philosophy, you good the mock, Charles Curry Lacan. Was one match good one, which Lacan, which I love the I thought that. Thank you very much, Arshid. You are here. I feel thankful to you also, just to mention, because you have helped. And those articles were edited by him only, which I used to write. Guys, if film, asli film bana director, producer. Which is raw material now. Asli short, you might not raw. That is the book which I think if you have time, it would be a waste of time. What is the idea of expressions? If you just see the picture which I have made, it took even in US, Swarat Kitab was Hong Kong, was Japan. Tumas boss Nimani Kitab was that was a complimentary. It has a lot of time has gone into it. Because writing is a cumbersome thing, and it is a blessing of. मैं बताऊंगा कि मैं कोई तूफान हूं कि नहीं it comes, I mean a blessing given to you by Allah that these words come to you and it should reach to others. That's what and thank you for that. Before I would conclude, I would just allow if Professor Shahid Saab gives me 5 minutes more, I'll just hold the book for them. Beyond science, not non-science, non-science. Human science. Yes, you must always say that. Actually, I have a good association with Fayaz Saab. He used to respect my Yasi. Magwa will share some part of Yasi. So say number team chata. Say na say tishun quick. If I panen chu you want to mana them. मगर मेरे कलाम को मैंने 3 किताबें लिखी हैं. My expressions, I have written a book in Mission Question Jat Kormut ki mission or I was flying up to his parents so we बताएं कि boys बताएं fact that last certain it is a she or राज है तो कोई नहीं फिर कश्मीरी शानी ये बच्चे थोड़े मम्मा छोटे Kashmiri is we should not forget that but roots are we are Kashmiris. Let's understand that. This is why I feel proud to be a Kashmiri. Let me tell you. तो मगर ये है कि पनिन ज़बान अच्छी important. तो मैं कह चाहूँ मैं जिम किताबों का कोई इशू में पता कि बहुत मेरे तरह कोई इशू दाखिल किए but I have written it and I have published a book in Kashmiri that is in poetry only. That is titled as Bazar Akhtan. Bazar is we are all Akhtan. So ये है 15 Kashmiri poems. I have been invited by all the facts universities for this. And science, I used to also put this masala there. And going before I leave, I'll just give it.
Yes, sir, please.
Just Nazam. Why this Nazam? Atmas to Karbiya is select here because it will give you the purpose of it, which is very important. Let's not forget that. And then beyond that, we can go. Yakchu Unwanas. I'll take your details also. Yakchu Ishmael is about life. This was the question as Yakchu Unwan. Lohi Langar. I hope we all understand Kashmiri. Lohi Langar. Lohi Langar is what is this all life about? So iske Yakchu Kashmiri. Also, मेरा गलती पाती है low langar. Sure, समझ लगा. ठीक है, mistakes. So, Javed Hazan's विचार में सब मैंने कर दिया. Javed
is a wonderful idea.
Emi को पता नहीं अच्छा सा कारण सो इसला.
Isla.
तो मुझे बात में जवाब लूँ ना. नहीं वो मिल जाएगा. इसके आगे उन लोगों को जवाब लूँ. Because you said that you are a very reputed surgeon. So लोगों को लगती है वो सुस्ता थी पंजाब ना था ना. तो मैं ये मुझे ना था जैसे he told me and that's true. He told me the truth. You see, वाले आप ना असली वाले. Because वो लोगों को समझ नहीं आता है ये wrongly branded. So उसने बोला कि असली वाले आप unpublished. Because people do not understand it. The problem of the word is that because we are word is that एक इस जाए मेरा आप perceive करा उसके क्या काम शायद edit करा पाँच नहीं हुआ था कि मकसद उससे क्या होता है हमारे sex पर ये जो sex अच्छी सो आकोई दिल क्या इशू वाला हुआ I put an article on philosophy of word कितना इशू को archives of GK में जाए there are more than 300 articles तो उसमें ये article आज भी है philosophy of word में गुस्ताव चाह हमने 10 साल पहले लिखा पता है तब में तीसरा यहाँ से problems data word आए में you what you are what would Karas Mustafa has the parts of all the expensive software. Yeah, that's so the idea is what is life all about? Brasan or Brasan, you know, it's Brasan or the Brasan Idra. Understand that two corner series. In between cheese, Zipa, you may very should be Brasan or Brasan Idra. Yeah, you took like longer. Yeah, you took like longer. Kota mudder, the Kota mute, the zone of tea, the zoom. Brasan, or the Brasani draw. Yeah, you took like longer. Kota mudder, the Kota mute, the zone of tea, the zoom me.
Brasun से वाला ये बारामूला में रोने को ब्रसून बोलते हैं.
Wilderness से माना ब्रसून north Kashmir. So north Kashmir. That's माना ब्रसून. ये माना wilderness.
खुशहाल.
वक्त चुमकम तो वातुम चुमदूर 80 साल 90 साल और तो ज्यादा नहीं लगेंगे वक्त चुमकम वातुम चुमदूर मेरी तो लूर बकरा सूर and he wants to do all desires अगर तेरे से बोलो नाम तो है शुमाना है पर पार लगा वक्त चुमकम वातुम चुमदूर मेरी तो लूर बकरा सूर Yendri verses ये तो India ना ये गुफा है ना is a transit between one gufa to other gufa must be feeling stream of life Nindri verses Kushar Karnas Nindri verses Kushar Karnas with the nervousness you know क्या होता है उस वक्त जब माँ डिलीवर होती है ना उसके आगे कैसा आपकी आमद होती है ना Nindri verses Kushar Karnas Nindri verses Kushar Karnas Nindri verses Kushar Karnas with nervousness السفر شزور السفر شكرود أسمع كرهس ودنا كرهس واپس दुनिया रास नज़र أسمع كرهس ودنا كرهس واپس दुनिया रास नज़र برسان آق برسان إدراك ये تقولي لنگر يكودا مدر يكودا ميوت نزوم تي نزوم مي وقت چون كم وقت چون دور يدي تو دور وكرهسو وقت چون مكرر يا سر وقت چون مكرر دروازه هونا وقت مكرر دروازه هو نم ये तो ब्राउज उसी के पतवने से म्यूजिक की फिल्म में बने आख्या उस फिल्म बना असली फिल्म का राज पता ही नहीं ना वक्त मुकरर दरवाजा हो नम ने ये तो ब्राउज तेल बनिंद्र क्या जितो तेल में शोंग ना करने तेल बनिंद्र क्या जितो तेल में शोंग ना करने उस प्रसान और प्रसान इत्राक ये तो कोई लंगर कोता मुदर कोता म्यू नज़ूम सी नज़ूम मी अगर अगर न सवाल अगर न सवाल जवाब लब अगर न सवाल सवाल तो आप जानते हैं सवाल वही है the ultimate film is that you want to make that film and just from the mind अगर न सवाल जवाब लब देखिए उसका तो इस कर ज़बान तो बिजी बात ठीक है that's the plan तो इस कर ज़बान तो बिजी बात चीज़ चीज़ वही चीज़ भी कुछ तो ऐसे जाओ you know चीज़ वही चीज़ भी कुछ तो ऐसे जाओ वापस ये इतनी है भी कुछ ऐसे जाओ यानी तू मेरा चीज़ मेरे पास यानी चीज़ means आप फिल्म में बनाओ वो मसला नहीं but don't forget the ultimate film that is my film and I am the director so you have to watch that we have so चीज़ वही चीज़ भी कुछ तो ऐसे जाओ वापस ये इतनी है भी कुछ ऐसे जाओ दौरान दौरान दूर बदराइस दौरान that is life दौरान दौरान दूर बदराइस आपको नज़र कर मज़ा उस दौरान रात चंबे की आपको ज़ना कर उस लाइफ के बारे में देखना है वो बस ऐसा भी है अल्लाह सब that was possible my week what is going on most lots of saying please दौरान दौरान दूर बदरायस वक्त को नजर करने जा दोस्तों प्रारान ये वक्त है ना कि आपको सीट के लिए not no 80 years दोस्तों प्रारान रात चंबल की आपको जना करने जा विचार दो गोलूस दो बात विचार दो गोलूस ऐसे खूबसूरत बात रात खसबालस निंदर बेलालस रात खसबालस निंदर बेलालस वही की रूट काम स्नगरहस वदनगरहस वापस मिले रास्ता प्रसान और प्रसान you should last better and at the cracks सफेद चूस रंग दे सूट आ लोग है ना विशुसु महाराज त्रेलेक्ष ना महाराज बना ओके सफेद चूस रंग त्रेलेक्ष महाराज बना मगर एक लेक्ष में बूट लागा वो ही सफेद चूस रंग सूट आ लोग हम पुट बगर पड़ा सफेद चूस रंग दे सूट आ लोग हम पुट बगर पड़ा सकस सर्च में वैसे पानी तय पर सर्च में वैसे पानी तय पर तब हम वापस फिर जा सर्च में वैसे पानी तय पर विचान अच्छा सॉरी सफेद चूस रंग दे सूट आ लोग हम पुट बगर पड़ा सकस सर्च में वैसे पानी तय पर तब हम वापस फिर जा विचान गसांचा तो वो तमिश तो सब दिस के कांची पर सर्च में वैसे पानी तय पर तब हम वापस फिर जा विचान को मशीन को सारे सूर्य में तो पता है दिमाग से ये बात करने से तेरे को कहां है सना विचान को मशीन को सारे नहीं कोई बोले क्या होने विचान ये साइंस सब कुछ आ रहा है but let me tell you frankly what you have to publish you have to start आगे वाले लोग आपको जाना है शीट से बहुत वो जो आपने वो सेक्शन से ना वो राग चुनरी में दाग भाई क्या पागल है घर जाऊंगा ये क्या घर जाऊं तो चुनरी में दाग है तो जिन साहब ने बदला दाग मुझे बाद में जब 40-45 जवाब में जाता है ना मतलब ये कोई दागदार है ये टाइप है आप कैसे जूनियर आप समझ रहे हो ना वो दाग को आप नहीं करोगे तो ये जो साइंस वाली चीजें है ना आप दाग को बंद करना चाहते हो इंसानियत का दाग कैसे बताओ कुछ में वाला जो मसाला कर दाग उस पर विचान वो मशीन को सार नहीं वही क्या हम ने कहा शिंगित गुरु स्थित करना Sanno do zambo susa. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. बहुत कम लोग होते हैं those who fit into many disciplines. It's really and there is one personality on my right जिनको मैं बहुत कम टाइम से जानता हूँ. But I could make out, and you all must, and you could have also, he is basically a gem of many things. Apart from his, the subject, which is surgery. जब मैं इनसे पहली बार मिला था तो इन्होंने कहा था चलो लेक्चर छुट्टी एक मगर मैं थोड़ी अदब के साथ बेहद भी करता हूँ तो I should be allowed. तो मैंने बोला sir, it would be honor for us and in fact students, the participants would love this. And I was right when I met him for the first time in his chamber at SMHS hospital. I could make out he is basically a passionate teacher. In a sense, the way he held, this lecture, in the sense he was very particular about what should I say, how should I say it, kitna time milega, and what are the consequences. Only a good teacher, जो होता है ना, because we are all into teaching, only good and great teachers think about those lines. And we have Professor Mushtaq Chalkoo sir. He thought about those lines, what are my audience? Because when we go to the class, we go very prepared. And एक stage आती है बहुत सारे लोगों की life में when delivering a lecture is okay. I mean, they are invited, they go and they deliver. But in this span, from last 7 days, we are continuously in touch. He asked me about the facilities. He asked me about can I play this. He asked me about the discourse which he'll be talking about. So that really showed how much interested he was in interacting with you, and all the kind of efforts lagaye just to be relevant in the science filmmaking workshop. Sir, I'm highly thankful to you for accepting this invitation, and it was really an honor to listen to you. And at the end there was the cherry on the top after the surgery, and there was something good to eat and something good to understand. I'm thankful to you, and I'm also thankful to our worthy dean, Professor Shahid Rasool sir. When he when I was sitting in his chamber and he said we must invite Professor Chalkoo sahab, because he has done a lot of work, and all that work is recorded in the form of videos, and he has also recorded some videos with the EMRC, and he'll be very relevant person in this science filmmaking workshop, which is fine for the science scholars. So I'm thankful to both of you, sir, for accepting our invitation and for Shahid sir for proposing his name. I'm also thankful to our two filmmakers who are here, Professor Dr. Tariq Abdullah Saab and Jalaluddin Saab, and the whole team of this organizers. We have the session coordinator today, Dr. Raju, who is managing the things today. And previously it was Dr. Asif and Dr. John Rabu, and tomorrow and day after it would be Naeem Saab and Akhtar Saab. And last but not the least, I'm highly thankful to our PhD scholars who are managing the show beautifully. And thankful to Arshid Saab for all the coverage he's making possible to this event. And I would also request you to please be present on the valedictory, which is important. So thank you also. Thank you so much, sir.
I just would like to make just a comment on how this is relevant, this media is relevant with us. I think we are just say promoted. I think it's a part and parcel of surgery, especially the current fashion of surgery. Now we are getting into laparoscopic surgery. I was in Japan in 2018. What they do is that their idea is that people in theater are media people also. Let me tell you frankly how it goes. I'm not exaggerating and giving a word to oblige Professor Shahid sir. You wanted to tell me, let me know about this video making. Let me tell you that it is we are bound to do it. A surgeon who will not propagate his subject cannot propagate his subject without this filmmaking. Let me tell you how. This happened somewhere. This channel was in 2003. 2007 I started YouTube channel. It is not because of that. And I'll tell you how it happened with you. It happened that you want a recognition. Unless whatever you work, whatever you do, it has to go. One thing is you publish for yourself so that he knows, oh, he's Dr. Chalkoo. There are so many Chalkoos who have done unsung heroes. Believe me, I am nobody with a heart who say some clothes. I just ask. No, it is only because of publishing. Publishing through paper, publishing through media, publishing through Facebook, just keep on doing this exercise. Publish good, not talk things. That's the only idea. So how it happened that we have a media person. All times I have camera people. That time we did not have inbuilt cameras. When I started the DHPs, I still remember that jungle was the BCPS was to play. Those days I still remember. I've seen that time. Now to up to जिन्हें वहां से सब कुछ मिरर था इतना आसान नहीं था. Those times how you needed a lot of us people from editors. Editors, I have passed upon the editors. What they do, they would come with a camera into the and make this picture of how I am operating and that's. Then we used to publish. Thankfully, then we grew into a better day. Then came I8, then came digital, then came VCR. Yeah, now things are we are into nanotechnology. अब तो एक छोटे में आप सब कुछ ले जाओ. So how it was relevant that we now should know this editing job, and I think we should get interactive and kindly interact with us. If you give me a chance, if you have time, sir, we can invite you also sometime. Please make us a lecture, make us wise. What is this? Because people will, I think the honestly the subject which is more relevant to us is neglected from our point of view because people believe is believed to मगर वो फिल्म जो शॉट आपको देना चाहोगे ना वो दूसरा नहीं बनाएगा. What happens with me when I used to get an editor boss आप चाय बनाना come down as the picture goes on a चाय we also want to bring one we also those guys we want cash second me फिल्म बनाई थी तो मैंने तेरी साइड बनाई ये तेरे क्या पता है कि ये दोनों तो इन फिक्र ही क्या शाम है one of the persons told me hey Ikesh because only I know Ikesh so उस editor को कैसे पता is a non so he will interact but he can give me good shot he will tell me कितना जो बना but if this job is learned by us we would interact with, we can interdepartmental collaboration, we can produce a better film, not for us only. It will be published for a better teaching, for a better day. That's what probably Chalsa wanted that. I feel it. It's not that he wants it. I feel it. I am not at the helm of events, I am not a principal medical college, but I will put this request with my principal that we should interact with the people from media, especially who have this specialty, for a good filmmaking in laparoscopics, which will go ahead for the betterment, for a better teaching, for a better awareness of the public. Thank you very much.
Please, we have, I guess, outdoor shoot today, sir. So all students after taking tea, please, you'll have to proceed for the outdoor shoot and you will have to come back by 4 or 4:15 next.
So all the best for the next 2 days, 3 days. Hopefully, or likely you show us some good works you have made. And Vice Chancellor the Registrar, I already talked to them. So let us show them the results of those. Thank you very much.
ऐसे करते हैं हम लोग 4 ग्रुप्स है ना पहले का 4
Raju sir, I have shared. Raju sir, I have shared the number of bus drivers.
अपना ग्रुप A, B, C and D. Please, September. You are expected to us.
Participant C पे बैठेंगे.
नहीं आप लोग यहाँ से ये लोग कहाँ का दिमाग ठीक है क्या ये लोग कहाँ चले गए इनको आना नहीं वॉशरूम में यहाँ पे नहीं है ये यहाँ
Check your mouth.
Sorry.
इसका नाम क्या आ गया?
कोई खड़े नहीं ना
We have very limited time. You have lot to do. You have lot कहाँ पे?
Sir, here सब लोग group captain is out for some.
देखो बोले ना
सर वो आ रहे हैं.
जब भी हमने बाहर को जाना है
सर वो आ रहे
हैं for 10 minutes let us क्या मतलब lunch भी उस टाइम हुआ हमारा पैक क्या करें ले लेकिन
नहीं I'll call.
पहले आप ये देखते हैं कि have you worked on ideas
उनको फोन नहीं है ना सर मैं उनको बुला
अगर बाहर कोई है kindly come inside
Don't waste time. आर्मी लाइफ पता क्या होती है? टाइम के लिए बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, and they cannot miss that. So you think that has started. क्योंकि अभी 12 बजे already हो गए हैं. So by 4 we should have some template in our hands. So that's why we don't want to waste any time. They already okay, अगर कोई group पूरा है, you are group C, huh? So you have consensus on some particular idea. I was just going through still as a part of the WhatsApp group, huh? So I had posed a question here, huh? Okay. They Gandharva Springs. Okay. सभी का इसमें इत्तेफाक हो गया? हाँ? आपने दिया था आइडिया? जी जी
क्यों?
तो आपका आइडिया है, ब्रिलियंट आइडिया।
ये बोल रहे हैं कि आप स्टाइल तो बोल रहे हैं मैं है
एक ओवरनाइट हो जाएगा आपको not to make her act. It's a wonderful idea, but given this is some sort of I will follow the name. Now you don't have time to think much. आपका आइडिया अच्छा है, but it is possible to achieve in a limited time.
चालकू सर के पास गए ढूंढ रहे थे वो वन डिटाइट वो वन इमिशन लेके उसको नहीं
Visualization कैसे करेंगे?
हमें क्या बोल
तो कोई ग्राफिक्स क्रिएट कर पाएंगे आप?
गई कहाँ
फिलहाल आपका ये आइडिया। अब दूसरा जो आप बताइए मंगल स्प्रे।
मैं गई वो आगे चली गई है चालकू सर को बोला मुझे 2 मिनट
कहाँ है घर का?
मैं कुछ काम में गई मैं उसको पीछे बुलाया चालकू सर के साथ आ गई कहाँ चली गई आई
ओके
कहाँ से बुलाने आई थी बाहर जहाँ पे सब ढूंढ रहे थे अपना ये से बोला तो मैं तुम्हारे पीछे आई थी सर ये छोड़ो इंशाल्लाह तुम इन्फॉर्म किया मैंने
अब आप कौन सा
मैंने एक किसी ने बोला नहीं अभी किसी बोला ना मैंने बुलाया भाग रही
It can be a fortune story.
ये है ना ये कश्मीरी ही है ठीक है क्या हुआ?
But it is some sort of a success because the success story कि ये अभी तक survive कर रहा है, ये angle हम देख सकते हैं. Otherwise this has done आपका road भी बन चुका है, global warming भी है, but this is still surviving in the south.
इसको बचाए रखने के लिए बचाए रखने के लिए we have food. That was
स्क्रीन पे कर रहा
पीछे
है.
तभी वो पानी
कि नहीं सुनाने बस पे तुम जाओ.
Science film. जवाब हमने angle दिया,
चार कुछ
ये सक्सेस में अभी तक ये survive कर रहा है. अब हम इसको कैसे बचाएंगे? That we have to. This angle can be used.
भूलेगा मैंने कहा
वहाँ पे आप वो ये भी बताएंगे
इससे पहले जब हम बैठे देखो में लास्ट रूपी का क्या है ये वो तो सब ना बोल
इस पे आप कंसर्न कर लें. ये हम जवाब साहब इसका एंगल बता रहे हैं ना, ये एक सक्सेस स्टोरी है कि टाउन में क्योंकि हमारे वी हैव ड्राइड अप ऑल सेटलिंग, इवन इन डल लेक देयर वर अंडर सब्सिक्वेंट, दोस हैव बीन ड्राइड अप, सोर्स ही खत्म हो चुका है,
एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करेगा.
ये अभी सर्वाइवल है इसका, तो ये एक सक्सेस आप इसको आप कैसे बचा सकते हैं. एनवायरनमेंट देव कर ले, इसको पेज पर पे आप कोई गंदगी ना पड़े, रोड वाइडनिंग के नाम पर इसको आप आगे दैट वी कैन यूज.
क्या ये मैच में हो गया
जो आप बना सकते हैं, बट यू कैन टेक सम टाइम टू डू. अब इस पे आप कर लीजिए एंड स्टार्ट डिस्कसिंग जब हम बात करते हैं you are
You just have to draw a line. देखो अभी किसी को अपना आइडिया वो इतना elaborate करेगा.
लोग में आ सके अपनी गाड़ी रखी somebody take the ये it's a good idea. It can be made in a case stage. Hey, just go. I don't forget about this environment. It's not outside. That's not. Time to लेंगे कि बाइक पे
क्यों नहीं उसको लेके आए इंस्ट्रक्शंस में instructions. The idea is या उस person को किसी मुझे में बैठो या बाहर निकलो और एक स्क्रिप्ट लिखो. तो अभी हमें कुछ नहीं जाना. जाएंगे और अपना स्क्रिप्ट हम डिस्कस whether they want to work it or not.
Look B, huh? With the shaking का जहाँ पे आगे भेजेंगे आपको बता दें आपका तक आ जाएगा. So have you started on what you are making? keeping things in mind that we have limited time left, limited resources we have, keeping that thing in mind, what you have. So we want to have side. You want to take the time? You want? Okay, okay, that's what we are here. Right. Right. Your road side is the one day. You don't have to. Right. How they get even more. Right.
أنا ما أخذ الأيديا. وأنا مش أفهم الموزات. نعم نعم. هذه الأيديا.
Student narrate.